Yeah. So last session we discussed about XML. Okay, how XML can be used for transferring the data from one application to the other. So how JavaScript or jQuery or using PHP. Okay, and we studied a little more about uh, some advanced topics like XPath and all. Okay, how to conditionally fetch the data from an XML document. Okay, so today we are going to study about JSON. Okay, so JSON. Okay, it is similar to your XML. It's a data serialization format. Okay, that means it is used to represent an object data in the text format. Okay, similar to your XML, this is also used for representing your data in the text format for transferring from one system to the another system. Okay, so this is also used for transferring the data. How you can transfer the data in a human readable format, that is very simple format. How you can transfer the data from one system to another system. Okay, so here JSON stands for JavaScript JS, okay, and O stands for object notation. So JSON is nothing but JavaScript object notation. Okay, so here you can see few more introduction about JSON. JSON is a syntax for storing and exchanging the data, and it is written with JavaScript. It's in a text and written using JavaScript object notations. Okay, so they are used for exchanging the data when you are exchanging the data between a browser and a server. Okay, and the data can only be in the text format. Okay, so JSON is a text, and we can convert any JavaScript object into JSON. Okay, any code, anything that is in JavaScript object can be converted into JSON, and you can send it to the server. Okay, so this JSON is used when you are using any JavaScript code. Okay, they can also be convert any JSON received from the server to the JavaScript object. So that means from the JavaScript object you can convert it into JSON, and similarly from the JSON you can convert it into JavaScript object. Okay. So here we have examples. So in this example you can see a sample JSON. So this is our sample JSON. Okay. So this example shows how an XML data elements could be represented in JSON. So this is our previous example. Okay, in XML document we had details of 3 paintings. So here same painting data. Okay, not all the 3, but we are taking only one. In that we are just taking artist. Okay, we had and we had that is name and nationality. So that XML data element can be represented in JSON. Okay, this is our XML format, and this XML can be represented in JSON like this. So very simple. So this is our node name colon. You can see we have double quotes, and under that we have 2 nodes. Okay, child nodes name and nationality, and this is how we specify the value for name and nationality. Okay, so this is how we convert an XML. Okay, this is XML and this is a JSON representation. And here we have one more example. You can see this is our example. Okay, if you have data stored in JavaScript object, you can convert it into an object into JSON and you can send it to the server. So here this is our JSON code. Okay. We are using 3 nodes, name, age and city. So we are converting it into JavaScript using JavaScript object. Okay. into JSON string. So this is our JSON string. Okay, and then we are sending it into the server. You can see here, this is a built-in function where we are using this JSON and we are converting it into object, okay, string, and taking sending it into the server. So this is a page that we are using it for sending into the server. So what value we are sending? We are sending 3 values. Okay, what are the 3 values? John, 31, and New York. Okay, so John, so this is the format we are using for sending into the page. So John from New York is 31. So this is a simple example showing the JSON code. So this function, okay, don't worry about this function more. So this is used for converting your JavaScript into the JSON string. So similarly, when you want to receive the data from the server, you receive the data in JSON format. If you want to receive the data which is in JavaScript object into JSON format, you can use this. So what value you are taking? We are taking only name. That will be displayed here. Okay, so this is how. So this is a function we are using, JSON dot parse, and parse the JSON object. Okay, so these are the 2 examples. Is quite enough to present in the exam. Okay. Most of the time they ask you explain or summarize the concept of JSON with example. You can view these examples. So here, this is a complete example. Okay, JSON representation of your XML data. Okay, XML data where we had 3 paintings. Okay, so that can be represented in JSON in this format. So this is a JSON format of your XML document. So here, how many paintings? We have 3 paintings with the 3 different IDs. So these are the 3 different IDs. Okay. So first this one, and 1, second, and this is our third painting details. You can see we are using curly braces here and double quotes with colons for representing different attributes, okay, and different nodes, title, artist name, year, and medium. So this is JSON present data. The next is how we can use, okay, how we can process your JSON in JavaScript and using PHP. Okay. So syntax of JSON is the same, used for creating the objects in JavaScript. Okay. It is easy to make use of JSON format in JavaScript. Okay. So we are using, okay, the concept of JSON in the JavaScript for transferring the content from your browser to the server. Okay, so this is the code of JavaScript where we are using the JSON. So this is your JSON code, okay, so which is embedded inside the JavaScript code for sending the data. So here we are sending name and nationality which belongs to artist. Okay. So then what we are doing, we are not sending it to the server, but instead we are simplifying and are using an alert box for displaying the artist name and artist nationality. So this is how we are fetching the content from JSON using the JSON object, that is a.artist.name will give you manage, that is a name, okay, and a.artist.nationality which will give you the France. Okay, so these are the 2 things that we are going to display using JavaScript. Okay. And next is So here we are using little more, that is JSON parse. Okay. A few functions that is used in JSON, that is JSON parse. So this function can be used to transform the string, okay, containing the JSON data into the JavaScript object. So this is used for, so this is parse is a built-in function which is used for converting the JSON, okay, the data. This is your JSON data. Okay. Artist name and nationality, which is converted into JavaScript object. So now this is your JSON data. Okay. JSON data which is stored in the variable text. We are converting into JavaScript object and we are trying to display it. Okay. And here there is one more. Okay. Suppose if JSON parser function is not available in older browser, that is IE and all, if it is not available, then you can try this. Okay. This function parse JSON, or you can simply go for parse in the latest browsers. Okay. Either of these two functions you can try. So JavaScript can also provide a mechanism for translating a JavaScript object into a JSON string. So here what we are doing, once you get the JavaScript object, okay, you can convert it into JSON string. So this is how we are using for converting it into a string. So these are the two built-in functions that we are using along with the JavaScript. The next is how you can embed the JSON code in PHP. So in the exam, they may ask you how you can use JSON in JavaScript and in PHP. So here we are going to study some built-in functions to handle the JSON. So this is, we are using here decode function. So decode function is used for converting the JSON string into PHP object. So here this one built-in function. Okay. And then once you get the PHP object, so this is our PHP object, you can access different nodes. Okay. So this is before statement, you can display the nationality, that is France. And similarly, you can go for converting the JSON string into PHP associative array. Okay, so this is, we are fetching the artist details, okay, either the name or nationality, using associate array. So this is one more way of fetching the data in PHP. So this is all about JSON. So you can try a few more examples. You can go through the syntax, how it is different from XML. You can go through the, sometimes they may even ask you what is the difference, how JSON is different from XML, what are the data types, okay, what JSON objects we have. So these things you can go through. So moving on to the next topic, that is web services. So web services, it's a simple word where it is nothing but the services that is available over the web. We are going to use the services that is available over the web in your application. So here you are going to study two important services. So one is SOAP, another service is REST. So these are the two services we are going to study. There are other services. Okay. Apart from these two, there are other services. Okay. Other way of accessing the web services. These are the two rest. So let us understand within a simple scenario what is a web service. Okay. So imagine that uh, you are a client. Okay, and you are a client, and here there is a kitchen of a restaurant. Okay, and now you want to place your order, and you want to get the food from the kitchen. Okay, from the restaurant kitchen. So here, so how you can get the, so these are two applications. One is client application. You can consider it as a client application, and one you can consider it as a server. Okay. So being a client, you want to access the services for the food to be delivered to you. Okay. Now, here as a mediator, you can use the waiter as a mediator, okay, to get your food delivered, okay, from the kitchen. You can take the help of the waiter. So waiter is the one who plays the role of your web service. Okay, he is the one who is going to give the service for you. Okay, the service of delivering the food from the kitchen to you. Okay, so he will interact with you. Okay, okay, get the order from you. So once the order is given to the waiter, he will go to the kitchen and he will place the order, and once he get the food, okay, he will deliver that food to you. Okay, so here the waiter will play the role of web service. Okay, as simple. Okay, so here the waiter plays the role of connecting two applications, that is you and the kitchen. So imagine the situation. Okay, now imagine that if this waiter is not available. Okay, if the waiter is not available, then what you can do is, okay, so one way is, it is possible to get the food from the kitchen. So what you can do is directly you can interact with the chef, okay, chef in the kitchen, and you can get your food delivered. Okay, directly from here you can place the order to the chef and your food will be delivered. It is possible. Okay, you can speak to the chef and you can get your order done. Now even if the waiter is not available, if the web service is not available, you can, the two applications, these are two applications, they can interact and get the task done. Okay, only if the waiter is available, then what is the advantage is, okay, you can avoid unnecessary communications. Okay, okay, if the waiter, if the waiter is available, then there is no need of communicating directly between the two applications. Okay, so let me take a real-time application. Okay. Now just think about this. Let me go to a website. So I'll go to this website, make my trip. So most of you might be aware of this website. Okay. So make my trip website. Now I'm searching for a flight. I'm searching for a flight, and you can see here I'm getting the detail about different services. Okay, that is from Delhi to Bangalore, okay, on a particular date. It is giving me the detail of all the flights. Okay, so it is giving me the detail from different flights, that is Indigo. Okay, and it is giving the service. What are the flights that is available from Go Air, Air India. Okay, so these are different. Okay, Indigo, then Vistara, different flights information from different applications. Okay, it is giving me Air Asia. It is giving me different flights information, fetching the information from these websites. Okay, how is the scenario here? Now this is Make My Trip website. Okay, this is your website. Okay, we are requesting flight information from different applications. Okay, Air India. Okay, just write few. Okay, then Jet Airlines and Go Air. So these are different applications you are requesting for the flight information. Okay, Indigo. Okay. And in no time, it is giving you all the information about the flights. Okay, what are the flights available from Delhi to Bangalore? Okay, in Jet Airlines or in Air India, Go Air or Indigo, what are the flights available? So, Make My Trip is requesting the service of information about the flight, and all are returning the information in no time. Okay, in just a blink of eye, it is giving us all the details about the flights. Okay. Now, how it is possible? Okay, how you are able to access the service from all these four? I'm taking the example of this four. Okay, how Make My Trip is accessing the service of flight information from all these four websites. Okay, so one thing is what you can do is you can access, that is Make My Trip can access their database. Okay, all the four database they can access and get the information. That is one way. But the question is whether they are going to allow you to access their database, whether the third party is allowed to access their database, that the security breach problem will come, correct? Not possible. It is not possible. They will not allow you to access the database. Okay. Sometime possibly that Make My Trip may do some wrong entries. It may affect the entire application. So it is not a feasible solution. Okay. Second thing is you can think, okay, all the database, okay, all these four applications, they give their database to the Make My Trip website. Okay. But now the question is, if they give all database, all four applications, if they give the database, now the question is whether your database is up to date. So whether you are getting the real-time data. Maybe they might have updated the database few 1 hour back or half an hour back, they might have updated the database. Whether are you able to access their real-time data? Okay, so that question comes here. So you can strike out this. It is not a feasible solution. So the third one is the most feasible solution is going for web services. So this is one of the feasible solution you can think about for getting the services from all these four applications or all these four websites. Okay. Whenever you are studying or whenever you are developing any applications, okay, it is very important to know the concept of web services. Okay. The question is, do I need to study all these things? Okay. Is there any tools that can help me to generate the web services? Yes, you have some developed, okay, well developed tools that is available for getting the web services. So you need not write the code for getting the web services. Okay, so you can just use the code tools that is available for getting the web services. Only thing is you need to understand what is the web services. Okay, it is very important, okay, in any web applications to know about web services. Okay, so here there are few points. Okay, what is a web services? It is a piece of software that makes itself available over the internet Okay, and how the XML is standardized, what is the format it is making use of XML. Okay, it's making use of XML. Okay, so web services are made of XML. Web services are relatively standardized mechanism by which one software application can connect to and communicate with one another. So that is what I said. Make My Trip can communicate with Hairgo, Hair India, Indigo, okay, jet lines. They can connect with and they can communicate with other software application using different web protocols. Okay. They can make use of different web protocols like HTTP, the most important protocol. Okay, they can use this HTTP protocol for communicating with other applications. Okay. Your web applications typically is written using XML or they can also be written in JSON. Okay. To encode the data within HTTP transmission. Okay, for encoding or retrieving the data within and web services. Okay. So as I already said, we are going to study two important web services, that is SOAP and REST. It's a very easy concept as well as a very interesting concept. Okay. So moving on to the first service, that is SOAP. It's a lightweight protocol for exchanging of information in a centralized, decentralized or distributed environment. So that is what the diagram previously I showed you with makemytrip.com and different other websites. Okay, so they are distributed environments. Okay, your database is not in a particular where you don't have all the database in makemytrip.com. You have your database distributed in a different other applications. Okay, so SOAP can use for exchanging the information. It's a lightweight protocol which is written in in XML. Okay, the SOAP is written in XML, and you have few points about SOAP. Okay, you can go through these points. So here, SOAP is designed to be platform independent. It is platform independent and it is also software operating system independent. It works in all different operating system in all different platforms. Okay, can work with any programming language based applications. Either it can work with Windows or any other operating. Okay. It's a very lightweight. Okay, the XML language, what you write, it is very simple to understand. Even very simple, even a human beings can understand this XML SOAP language, what data that you are exchanging between the applications. And this is some of the features. Okay. It is used for communicating. It is defined in XML. It is used for data transporting. Okay. It is a complete document exchanging. It is used for broadcasting the messages. It is language independent, platform independent. They are used for sending the informations. They are easy to connect to the remote services or remote websites. You can connect using remote methods. Okay. And how to write the SOAP? In SOAP, there are three parts. One is SOAP envelope, SOAP header, and SOAP body. Okay. So SOAP envelope, SOAP header, and SOAP body. Okay. This web services, okay, it is an elective subject. Okay, and if you come in your higher semester, that is maybe in 7th or 8th, you have an, I think in 7th you have a elective. Okay, there is for web services. Okay, if you want to study in detail, okay, about web services, you have that subject as an elective, where you are going to study in detail about this SOAP structure. Okay, how to write the envelope, how to write the header and the block. Okay, and here in the envelope, okay, what you are writing, it identifies XML document as a SOAP message. So it contains SOAP message, okay, encapsulates all the details in the SOAP message, and it is the root element of the SOAP message, that is the envelope. So envelope, like here's your post. Okay, when you post, you will be having an envelope, right? So similar to that, okay, in this SOAP message, we'll be having an envelope, which will give you a brief information what data that you are going to send to whom it is. Okay, and you have header element. The header element will contain informations like authentication credentials, okay, and it will also have what type of data that you're going to send in the SOAP message, what parameter it contains, okay, what type of data, whether you are sending string data or number data, whether you are sending any complex data like an array or a structure. And the next comes the body element, where it contains, okay, call and response informations, request and response information. That is, make my trip data, requesting the data, Indigo, okay, for another application, that is Indigo Airlines. Okay, and Indigo Airlines is sending the SOAP response to the makemytrip.com. So this element what contains is the actual data. So body will contains the actual data, that is the actual service. Okay, that is here in our example, the details about the flights. Okay, flight details you are getting. Okay, it is in which part? It is in the SOAP body element. Okay, so here we have a simple example showing the SOAP envelope element. Okay, here we have, this is the envelope, okay, where we are specifying the namespace, and this is the body part, and you can see in the body part which website we are accessing. We are requesting the service from this website. From your website, you are requesting the service from this website. Okay, and what you are requesting? You are requesting your tutorial ID. Okay, you are requesting, okay, for the service, that is tutorial ID. This is how you are going to write the web service, okay, in SOAP. Okay. This is a diagram. Okay, in this diagram, very simple diagram. So as I already said, we are not writing the web service. We are using the tools or the development machine, okay, for, or a language, okay, for writing or for generating the web services. Now this is a web service server. So web service service, okay, web service is developed using the tool, okay, for generating. So this is a SOAP web service. You are requesting the help of a tool, that is a development machine. At the design time, we are using a language that is web. This is WSDL. So that is nothing but your description language, web service description language. It is used for generating the service. Okay. At a design time, the tool reads. So this is a tool we are using. Okay. So this is your website, that is makemytrip.com. Okay. You are taking the web help of your server. So this is your server, that is makemytrip.com service server. Okay. So it is how it will generate the web service. So for generating the service, it is making use of this tool. Okay, so using that tool, so it will generate the code for consuming the service. That means it uses this tool for generating the web service, okay, for getting the flight details. Okay, so flight details, okay, details. We are using this web service. So once you get this web service ready, okay, the next what you are going to do is, application is done with deploying at the design time onto the production web server. This is your production web server. Okay, make my trip web service. Okay, and so this is your makemytrip.com. So this is your makemytrip.com server. So this is your web service server. Okay. So once you get the web service, okay, then what you do is, here we have a sixth point. So this is the sixth point. The browser requests application that consumes the web service. That means make my trip is requesting the web service. It needs web service for accessing the Indigo services, flight details. Okay, then what happens is, seventh point is, okay, it goes to this web service. Okay, application request web service operations. Okay, web service process the request. Okay, once this is processed and web service returns the requested data, so it gives the flight information. Make my the details about the flights in their websites. Okay, so this is how we are using. Okay, okay. So this is the development machine or tool for generating the web service. Okay. Once, so this is your web service server. Once it gets a web service, okay, it requests different websites like airlines, Indigo, and all, and it gets these details, okay, from their website. Okay. And once it gets the details, it gives the detail to this make my trip server. Okay. And that server will display that information in their website. So moving on to the next web service, that is REST web service. Okay. It is very simple compared to your SOAP web service. Okay. It is lightweight and maintainable and scalable. Very simple. It stands for representable state transform. REST stands for representable state transform. Okay. Here you need not write the code of something like this. It is very simple. Okay. In REST, everything is considered as a resource. Okay. Whatever you access, maybe a flight information, or you are accessing the department information, employee information, student information from different application, everything will be considered as a resource. Okay. So here services are not called as a service, but instead it is called as resources. That means client is not requesting for the service, but it is requesting for the resources. Okay, the term resources is used in REST. Okay. And here you can see here, here how we are requesting the resource. Okay, if this is your website, okay, you are requesting the resources something like this. That means here you are telling the web server, okay, to please provide the detail about the employees whose employee number is 1. So this is how you are writing your REST web service. Very simple. You do not write any code. You have to just simply write this line. Okay, write the example if you want to request from airlines, okay, different airlines. If you want to request the flight information, okay, airlines, and if you want today's, okay, today Thursday, okay, Thursday. If you want the information, okay, just it's a simple example, and on particular date at 9, okay, 9 a.m. you want this date, you just write this, okay, request, okay, and it will give you the details. You did not write any code here like your SOAP. Okay, a simple URL will do the job. And similarly, if you want to delete any information, okay, if you want to delete like this also, you can delete it. So you delete the record. So in the HTTP method, we had different methods like get, post, and all. And similarly, we have put method, delete method, and all. This can be used for performing different operations. Okay. So here also we have request body and response body, how the response is given. The response will be in the form of XML document. Okay, similar to the SOAP, here also the response will be in the form of XML document. Sometimes if it is not able to give the information, okay, for example, you are not able to access, okay, the Indigo Airlines services. In that case, it also gives you the response in terms of the code, 200 or 400. Okay, so different codes are given for uh, giving the response. Okay. So this is similar to your SOAP. Here also we have a diagram. Okay. This is development or production web server. Okay, this is your web server, a web service server, and there is production web server, development or production web server, which is used for creating the REST web services. Okay, for creating this tool that is used for creating the REST web service. What happens at the design time? A web service is developed. How you are going to develop? Okay, by interacting with this. Once your web service is ready, okay, using different tools. Okay, sorry, this is your production, that is your makemytrip.com. Okay. Makemytrip.com server, production web server. You are using different tools and you are creating, okay, like development tool. You can use development servers, you can use for creating the web services. Once you're done, next browser will request the application that consumes a web service. That means you are requesting the web server. The Make My Trip is requesting the airlines for giving the information. Okay, application packages the service request into query. As I said, like this, it will be generating the query. Okay, so it will be generating the query and application request web service operation. So the query, it will request the web service for creating, for giving the information request. It is requesting for the flight information. Okay, once it is done, the response is given in terms of flight information data. Okay, and once you get the flight information data in the XML format, okay, you will display that to the client, to your user. You will display all the flight informations. Okay. The difference between these two diagrams is, okay, here we have showed the development machine. Here we have not shown the development machine. Rest remaining everything is the same. Okay. We are requesting the web service. Okay. If the request comes, response is given. Okay. So this is all about the two different web services, that is SOAP and REST. Any doubt you can ask me.